HBO will stream 500 hours of free programming. HBO is unlocking its biggest troop of free programming ever in a goodwill gesture as people look for a diversion during the COVID-19 pandemic, according to National Post. The WarnerMedia-owned premium cabler is making almost 500 hours of programming available to stream for free for a limited time on HBO Now and HBO Go services without a subscription. The list of free programming includes every episode of 9 HBO series: The Sopranos, Veep, Succession, 6 Feet Under, The Wire, Dallas, Barry, Silicon Valley, and True Blood. Almost streaming for free are 20 Warner Bros. Movies in HBO's current catalog, including Pokemon Detective Pikachu, The Lego Movie, the second part, and The Crazy Stupid Love, and 10 HBO documentaries, including McMillions and The Case Against Adnan Syed. Notably, however, HBO mega hit Game of Thrones is absent from the free streaming fiesta. The move by HBO is to put such a huge amount of original content in front of the paywall effectively serves as a major sampling strategy ahead of Warner Media's scheduled launch of HBO Max in May. HBO Max would include everything on HBO, plus a host of originals, library titles, and licensed content for the same $14.99 monthly price. All of the programming will be available to stream without a subscription starting April 3 by downloading the HBO Now or HBO Go app or by visiting hbonow.com or hbogo.com. The content will also be made available for free via participating distribution partners platforms in the next several days, according to HBO. HBO content available to stream without a subscription includes full series. Number 1, Ballers, 5 seasons. Number 2, Barry, 2 seasons. Number 3, Silicon Valley, 6 seasons. Number 4, 6 Feet Under, 5 seasons. Number 5, The Sopranos, 7 seasons. Number 6, Succession, 2 seasons. Number 7, True Blood, 7 seasons. Number 8, Veep, 7 seasons. Number 9, The Wire, 5 seasons. Warner Bros. Movie 1, Arthur on the Book Rocks, Blinded by the Light, The Bridges of Madison County, Crazy Stupid Love, Empire of the Sun, Forget Paris, Happy Feet 2, Isn't It Romantic, The Lego Movie, the second part, Midnight Special, My Dog Skip, Nancy Drew at the Hidden Staircase, Pan, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Red Riding Hood, Smallfoot, Stokes, Sucker Punch, and Unknown. Docuseries and documentaries include The Apollo, The Case Against Adnan Syed, Elvis Presley, The Searcher, I Love You, Now Die, The Commonwealth vs. Michael Carter, The Inventor, Out for Blood in Silicon Valley, Jane Fonda in 5 Acts, $McMillion, True Justice, Brian Stevens' Fight for Equality, United States 10, We Are the Dream, The Kids of the MLK Oakland Oratorical Fest. Today is a movie day. Talking about it, who doesn't know Ryan Reynolds? Ryan Reynolds donates $4,000 to Edmonton Food Bank, according to CTV News. Edmonton's food bank just got a big boost from famous Canadian Ryan Reynolds, who made a $4,000 donation to the cause. I happen to love Edmonton. This donation is in memory of Conor McGrath. Love Ryan Reynolds, the Deadpool star wrote. The fundraising campaign for the food bank was organized in conjunction with 1049 Virgin Radio to help ensure Edmontonians have the food they need during the pandemic. This isn't the first charitable donation by Reynolds. He and his wife Blake Lively donated $1 million to Feeding America and Food Banks Canada in March. In a statement posted to the couple's Twitter account, they said it would support people who had been brutally impacted by COVID-19. And yet again, according to Allure.com, Blake Lively is going to give Ryan Reynolds his next haircut. With hair salons closed due to COVID-19, people have had to figure out how to give themselves salon treatments from the comfort of their homes. Some celebrities have even shared these attempts on social media, whether they are doing their own hair or having a family member do it for them. On a video chat with Stephen Colbert, actor Ryan Reynolds shared that his next haircut would be coming from his wife Blake Lively during his lockdown. On the April 1 episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, the Deadpool star chatted with the talk show host about he and his family have been occupying their time during the quarantine. Reynolds stated that a lot of it went to homeschooling, gardening, and drinking, the last mainly for himself. Just that morning, he said he was making dresses out of tissues with his three beautiful daughters. As for the subject of personal grooming, Colbert just had to know what Reynolds was going to do to keep his luscious hair look so put together during this lockdown. And while thankfully he had received a professional haircut 2 weeks ago, tomorrow the fate of his hair would be left in the hands of his wife. This won't be Lively's first time acting as Reynolds' stylist. The first and only time it happened, the haircut took 2.5 hours. The end result wasn't exactly what Reynolds expected, he told Colbert. In the end, it looked like she had done the whole thing only using a lighter, or like those gloves made of sandpaper. Though it's hard for us to even think of Reynolds looking like anything less than a geek god, we would have loved to see even just the tiniest clip of that hair appointment. Hopefully the couple will think to share a snippet of the haircutting process with their fans so we can see the outcome. Resident Evil 3 review. Remake fails to make the headshot. Hooked on the Hollywood nostalgia high of remakes and releases, the video games industry has become a snake intent on eating its own tail. From time to time, developers succeed in giving their old games new life with the Frankensteinian aplomb, as was the case with last year's Resident Evil 2 and Slick, an energetic remake of hit 1998 horror game that managed to outsell the original. Resident Evil 3 arrives hot on the heels of its best-selling predecessors. A little too hot maybe, updating and rejigging another classic Resident Evil game, this time 1999's Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. While there's never really a bad time to revisit the thrill of the original, you can't help but wonder if Capcom, the game's creators, would be better off taking a lesson from their own zombie-slaying protagonist. Some bodies are better left dead. Here, as in the original Resident Evil 3, Valentine spends large part of the story on the run from hulking pursuer known as the Nemesis, some 8 feet tall and seemingly indestructible. Nemesis is sort of a bipedal equivalent of the menacing tank trunk in Steven Spielberg's 1971 classic duo, but with less personality. He might be one of the Resident Evil series' most recognizable villains, but there's really not that much to him. The Nemesis is about one thing and one thing only: hunting down Valentine. While this mute foregoes about this deadly game of kill Jill, the player must also contend with hordes of small enemies, which range from standard issue Romero Q's zombies to giant spiders to other creatures of Resident Evil's own invention. The Walking Dead are unlikely to give you any serious frights. The series has often leaned hardest on the action part of the action horror, but some of the others are genuinely unnerving. My own personal Room 101 was an equally sequence set in the server when Jill is ambushed by a succession of huge bulbous frog-like creatures. Even in the 2 decades since the release of the original, audiences have grown more desensitized to horror. It helps that the unsightly enemies are rendered here with unprecedented clarity. Resident Evil 3's graphics are its sharpest asset. The lighting effects are top drawer and the game's human characters sparkle with realism. Resident Evil 3 has a slight problem with its scale. The city streets always feel closed off and artificial. Too often the gameplay removes you from the moment as you get bogged down in trivial decisions over which guns and tools to fit in your limited space inventory.